Some insects just crawl silently. Others are threats hiding in plain sight. For every one of us, there are 200 million of them. Some just move past your window. Others hunt, poison, and can profoundly alter human biology. From tiny predators to parasitic invaders, these are the 30 most dangerous insects on Earth. Like strange and intriguing stuff? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's begin, starting with something you thought was harmless. The housefly. You swat at it, curse under your breath. But this isn't just an annoying buzz in the kitchen. It's the flying freight train of disease. The common housefly doesn't bite, it doesn't sting, it just lands. On your plate, on your face, on a pile of garbage. And that's the problem. These flies are biological sponges, carrying over 350 types of bacteria, and at least 65 serious diseases, including tuberculosis, cholera, and even leprosy. It may not sting, but it doesn't have to. It carries more than just noise. It's a mobile vector for disease. 29. The giant tree Weta. Its name sounds like something from a fantasy novel, but the giant tree Weta is very real and far older than humans. This insect has outlived dinosaurs. Its ancestors roamed Earth 190 million years ago, during the Triassic period. It hails from New Zealand, where the Maori gave it a name that translates to the god of ugly things. The Weta isn't venomous, it doesn't sting, but it doesn't need to. It's one of the heaviest insects on Earth, weighing up to 70 grams, about as much as a small bird. And when threatened, it bites, hard. But perhaps the most unsettling part? It hears through its knees. Slits in its leg bones act as primitive ears, picking up on vibrations from predators, or you. Imagine something older than dinosaurs, hiding in the shadows of a New Zealand forest, not to sting you, not to infect you, just to remind you that nature's oldest survivors are still around us. 28. Blister Beetle. It's small, harmless looking, even beautiful in some species. But the blister beetle doesn't need fangs or stingers to ruin your day, just chemistry. Inside its body is a natural weapon called cantharidin, one of the most toxic compounds found in nature. Cantharidin causes intense skin irritation and blistering wherever it comes into contact with the body. And it doesn't stop at the surface. In high enough doses, it can enter the bloodstream and cause serious health complications. Some blister beetles are brightly colored, warning predators of the potent chemicals they carry. Others are muted, hiding in fields or gardens. Either way, the danger isn't just direct contact. Horses and livestock have dropped dead after accidentally eating hay contaminated with crushed beetles. No sting, no bite. Just a molecule so corrosive its properties have drawn scientific interest for its extreme effects. Number 27. The Browntail Caterpillar. It looks like a tiny fuzzy thread crawling along a leaf. But this isn't just an invasive species. It's a hidden biological hazard. Introduced accidentally to the US in the late 1800s, this caterpillar now thrives in Maine and coastal Massachusetts, where it's become more than a nuisance. It's a public health threat. The danger? Microscopic barbed hairs that break off and go airborne. They don't need to sting you. Just brushing against your skin or inhaling their hairs can cause a reaction. For sensitive individuals, the reaction can be more intense, with lingering skin irritation, a burning sensation, and in rare cases, respiratory problems. The worst part? These hairs can linger in the environment for up to 3 years. On tree bark, in soil, even indoors. They don't chase, they don't bite. They just leave behind a chemical signature that does the work for them. Number 26. The cow killer. It looks like a fuzzy ant in a red fur coat. Almost adorable, if you didn't know better. They call it the cow killer, and no, that name isn't a joke. Despite its name, the velvet ant is actually a wingless wasp, and its sting has been called one of the most painful insect stings in North America. The nickname cow killer comes from folklore. The idea that a sting from this wasp could drop a full-grown cow. That's not scientifically accurate, but it paints the right picture. This insect doesn't just hurt, it incapacitates. Females roam alone across the ground, hunting the underground nests of other bees and wasps. When she finds a nest, she lays an egg inside the larva. The hatchling consumes its host from the inside and breaks free to continue the cycle. They also have a chemical defense odor, squealing warning sounds, and a thick armor-like exoskeleton that makes them extremely difficult to crush. So if you see one wandering near your foot, remember, she's not lost, she's hunting. Number 25, the Titan Beetle. It doesn't buzz. It thuds through the jungle like a living drone. Meet the Titan Beetle, one of the largest insects on Earth. Found in the dense rainforests of the Amazon, this creature can grow up to 6.5 inches long, roughly the size of a kitchen knife. But it's not the size that's dangerous, it's what it can do with its jaws. Titan beetles don't bite out of aggression, but if provoked, they can snap pencils, sticks, even through leather, with their powerful mandibles. Local reports describe bites strong enough to break skin, rivaling those of small animals. They don't eat as adults. Their sole purpose at that stage is to survive long enough to mate. But in their short window of life, they defend themselves like living machines, using sheer brute force. Unlike venomous insects that sneak in a sting, the Titan beetle announces its presence. It's a reminder that not all danger is hidden. Sometimes it walks straight toward you, clicking as it comes. Number 24, the Assassin Caterpillar. It doesn't chase you. It doesn't even move fast. The Assassin Caterpillar can be deadly by doing almost nothing at all. Found in the rainforests of South America, especially Brazil, this caterpillar blends in perfectly with tree bark, making it nearly invisible. Touch one by accident, and its body unleashes a venom so powerful, it's earned a place in the Guinness World Records as the most venomous caterpillar on Earth. Each spine injects a potent anticoagulant that can cause serious damage to internal tissues and organs. Its venom disrupts red blood cells, leading to severe internal complications, and in some cases, can be fatal if untreated. And here's the twist. Assassin caterpillars don't travel alone. Where you find one, you often find many, silently resting on the same tree trunk or railing. A soft brush of the skin, that's all it takes. The most dangerous creatures are the ones you never see coming. Number 23, the Red Harvester Ant. It moves slowly, methodically, like it has all the time in the world. But the Red Harvester Ant doesn't need speed, it has chemistry. Found across the southwestern United States, this seemingly ordinary ant holds one of the most toxic venoms of any insect. A single sting delivers alkaloids, amino acids, and pheromones that can trigger swelling, lymphatic inflammation, and in rare cases, cardiac symptoms. But here's the surprising part. That sting also marks you. Their venom contains a pheromone attack tag, a scent signal that tells the rest of the colony, this intruder must be eliminated. And the colony listens. Red harvester ants are coordinated, ruthless. They can sting repeatedly, and they don't let go. Researchers have even compared the venom's toxicity to that of cobras, dose for dose. These ants spend their days foraging seeds and maintaining underground granaries until something walks too close. They don't chase you down, they let you step into their war zone, and then they swarm. Number 22, the Botfly. Most parasites sneak in quietly. The human Botfly outsources the job and lets another insect do the dirty work. Native to Central and South America, the botfly is a small, unassuming insect. But it's what happens after you encounter it that earns it a place on this list. It doesn't sting. It doesn't bite. Instead, it uses other insects as couriers. The female botfly grabs a mosquito or tick midair, glues her eggs to its body, and lets them deliver the package. When the mosquito bites, your body heat triggers the eggs to hatch, and the larvae enter through the bite site. Botfly larvae breathe through a small hole in your skin. They live there for weeks, developing, growing, until they're ready to emerge and drop to the soil below. Extraction isn't simple. Common methods involve suffocating the larva or encouraging it to emerge. For persistent or difficult cases, a medical professional can remove it with specialized tools. Number 21. The kissing bug. It sounds romantic, almost gentle, but the kissing bug isn't here to love you. It's here to feed off your blood while you sleep, and leave behind something far worse than a bite. Found in Central and South America, Mexico, and even parts of the southern United States, these insects earn their name by targeting the soft tissue around your lips and eyes. But they don't bite like mosquitoes. With needle-sharp mouthparts, they pierce your skin and drink until full. Then, as they feed, they may excrete infected feces near the wound. That's not just disturbing, it carries a dangerous threat. Their feces can contain Trypanosoma cruzi, a microscopic parasite that causes Chagas disease. It's a slow-moving infection that begins with mild symptoms, then progresses to target your heart and digestive system. Millions of people across Latin America are infected. Most don't know until it's too late. Because after a few months, the disease enters a chronic phase. Without treatment, it may lead to permanent heart or digestive damage, and in rare cases can be life-threatening. You may never see the kissing bug. It waits until you're most vulnerable and kisses you goodbye. Number 20. The giant centipede. It slithers like a snake, but walks on dozens of legs. The giant centipede isn't technically an insect, but its formidable presence earns it a place on this list. Native to South America, Asia, and parts of the American South, this centipede can grow up to 12 inches long, with curved, venom-injecting fangs known as forcipules. They're more than just hunting tools. They're also built for survival. Its prey includes spiders, scorpions, frogs, lizards, even mice and small birds. When it strikes, it coils around its prey like a living trap, delivering venom that disrupts nerve signals and body function. The result? Intense pain and total incapacitation. Human bites are rare, but when they happen, they're unforgettable. Symptoms may include fever, dizziness, nausea, and swelling that lasts for days. It doesn't just look like a creature from another era. It behaves like one, aggressive, armored, and built to overpower. Number 19. The executioner wasp. Its name sounds exaggerated until you learn about its sting. The executioner wasp is relatively new to science, and already infamous. Native to Central and South America, it's part of the Polistes genus. But what sets it apart is simple: pain. Intense and unforgettable. Unlike other wasps, the executioner doesn't just sting and retreat. It strikes hard, delivering venom deep beneath the skin. Wildlife expert Coyote Peterson, known for testing the world's most painful insect stings, described it as worse than the bullet ant, with a burning sensation that lasted for days. The venom of the executioner wasp is cytotoxic. It destroys living cells. Not just nerve endings, but surrounding tissue as well. You may never see one in the wild, but if you do, run. Don't swat. Because this isn't just a sting. It's a warning you'll never forget. Number 18. The Maricopa Harvester Ant. Beneath the dry soils of the American Southwest lives an insect with a venom so potent, it rivals some cobra species in toxicity. This is the Maricopa Harvester Ant, and it holds the title for the most toxic insect venom ever recorded, based on the LD50 scale. Their venom doesn't just cause pain, it interferes with critical body systems. affecting nerves, circulation, and even muscle control. A single sting is survivable, but 12 stings are enough to kill a rat weighing just 2 kilograms. Now think about this. Colonies can contain tens of thousands of ants. And just like their red harvester cousins, their sting includes a chemical signal, a scent that marks the target for the colony to engage. When you're walking through the desert, it's not the snake you should fear. It's the tiny shadow beneath your boot. Number 17. The Monarch Butterfly. It's a symbol of beauty, a delicate icon of transformation. But the Monarch Butterfly hides a chemical secret, and if the wrong creature takes a bite, it could make them severely ill. Found across North America, monarchs feed exclusively on milkweed as caterpillars, a plant loaded with cardiac glycosides or heart-affecting toxins. These toxins accumulate in their bodies, staying with them even after metamorphosis. The result? A butterfly so toxic, predators react instantly and may never make the same mistake again. For humans, the danger is more hypothetical, but real. Consuming them in large quantities may lead to serious cardiovascular symptoms due to their toxic compounds. And don't assume it's just the caterpillar stage. The adult monarch is just as poisonous, and its bright orange wings serve as a visual warning. Beautiful, but dangerous. Even birds have learned to avoid them. They see the color and remember the taste of danger. The monarch isn't just a fragile flutter in the wind. It's a reminder that nature can wrap deadly surprises in the softest disguise. Number 16. The Bald-Faced Hornet. It looks like a wasp in a tuxedo. Sleek, black and white, almost regal. But the bald-faced hornet isn't here to impress you. It's here to defend, aggressively. Despite its name, it's not a true hornet. It's a close cousin to the yellow jacket, and it's even more territorial. Found throughout North America, these hornets are notorious for protecting their nests with relentless precision. Unlike bees, bald-faced hornets don't lose their stingers. They can sting repeatedly, injecting venom that causes sharp pain and swelling. Stings near the face or eyes can be serious, sometimes causing intense swelling or breathing difficulties in sensitive individuals. Want to know what makes them even more terrifying? They chew up other bees and a variety of insects. They're not pollinators, they're predators. One wrong step, one rustle of a branch, and suddenly you're surrounded. 15. The Spanish Fly. It doesn't sting, it doesn't bite, but it leaves devastation behind. The Spanish fly isn't actually a fly at all. It's a type of emerald green blister beetle found across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. And its weapon? A potent chemical called cantharidin. Touch the beetle and your skin may blister. Ingest it, even in trace amounts, and the effects can be catastrophic. It may cause gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney failure, and in severe cases can be fatal. For centuries, cantharidin has been misused as a supposed stimulant, even by royalty. There are tales of royalty who died from overdosing on this substance, tragically mistaking its painful side effects for a stimulant. The beetle secretes the chemical as a defense, even coating its eggs so predators won't touch them. The toxic dose for a human can be less than 10 milligrams, roughly the size of a grain of rice. It's one of nature's most deceptive threats. Beautiful, ancient, and chemically evolved to protect itself in ways that leave a lasting impact. Number 14. The Paper Wasp. It builds delicate nests from chewed wood and saliva, shaped like umbrellas, hanging from eaves and tree limbs. But the paper wasp is no quiet craftsman. It's a watchful guardian of its territory. Reddish-brown, sleek, and deceptively calm, this wasp usually keeps to itself, until it doesn't. Disturb its nest and it won't just defend, it'll chase, sting, and signal others to join in. Their venom isn't the most toxic, but its effects are remarkably intense. It delivers a sharp, electric pain, often followed by lingering aches and inflammation. In some cases, it may trigger severe allergic reactions. Their sting isn't built for warning. It's built to ensure its survival against birds, mammals, humans. Their nests can hang right above your porch, invisible until disturbed. The paper wasp doesn't want to hurt you, but it's wired to believe you're already a threat. Number 13. The Australian funnel web spider. Strictly speaking, it isn't an insect, yet its danger earns it a place here. The Australian funnel web spider is often called the most dangerous spider on Earth. It lurks along Australia's humid forests and gardens, where its glossy black body and needle-like fangs have earned it a fearsome reputation. There are more than 40 known species, but a few, like the infamous Sydney funnel web, carry venom so toxic it can overwhelm a human in minutes. Before the anti-venom was developed in 1981, multiple deaths were recorded, victims collapsing from muscle spasms, breathing difficulty, and in severe cases, respiratory failure. But since the anti-venom became available, there have been no new deaths. Still, the bite remains incredibly painful and never something to dismiss. The funnel web doesn't run. It rears up, fangs bared, venom ready, and stands its ground. Number 12. The killer bee. It looks like any other honeybee, but the killer bee isn't here just for pollination. It's here for pursuit. Known more formally as the Africanized honeybee, the so-called killer bee earned its name not for its looks, but for its relentless defense tactics. Originally bred in Brazil in the 1950s as a hybrid between European and African honeybees, the Africanized honeybee escaped containment. What followed was a biological invasion across South and Central America, and eventually into the southern United States. They don't have stronger venom than regular bees. What they do have is ferocity. Disturb a hive, and while most bees give chase for a few feet, killer bees may follow for hundreds of meters. They sting far more often than their European cousins, each sting adding to a growing risk. Over 1,000 human deaths have been attributed to them since their release. They're not larger, they're not smarter, they're just more territorial and relentless in their pursuit. Number 11. The warrior wasp. You don't hear them coming, you hear them drumming. Native to the rainforests of Central and South America, the warrior wasp doesn't just defend its hive, it announces war. When threatened, the wasps begin beating their wings in unison, producing a rattling, pulsing sound, a warning drumbeat that grows louder by the second. It's not just a bluff, because what comes next is one of the most painful stings on Earth. On the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, the warrior wasp ranks at the top, just below the bullet ant. Entomologist Justin Schmidt compared the sting to being chained in the flow of lava, a deeply intense pain that can linger for hours. It's not just their sting that earns them the name, it's their behavior, their sound, their relentless, unified ferocity. They don't just protect the hive, they drive intruders away. And when the forest starts to drum, it might already be too late. Number 10. The Tarantula Hawk. It hunts spiders twice its size. It paralyzes them. And then, it drags them back to the nest as live food. The Tarantula Hawk is a wasp, a massive one, found across the Americas, Asia, and Africa. With a metallic blue body and orange wings that shimmer like fire, it's strangely beautiful. The name is no exaggeration. Females seek out full-grown tarantulas, sting them with surgical precision, and paralyze them completely. Then, they drag the immobilized spider into a burrow, lay a single egg on its abdomen, and seal it inside. When the larva hatches, it begins to feed, avoiding vital organs, so the host remains alive as long as possible. But it's not just tarantulas that feel the sting. Ask entomologist Justin Schmidt, who rated it as one of the most painful insect stings in the world. Luckily, it rarely stings humans. Unluckily, when it does, it leaves a lasting impression. The tarantula hawk isn't just a hunter. It's nature's dark design, precise, patient, and built for control. Number 9. The fire ant. You don't see it. You feel it. A sudden burn, like your skin just lit up. Fire ants aren't named for their color. They're named for their venom, which delivers a sharp, burning pain that spreads fast beneath the skin. Native to South America, and now aggressively invasive across the southern United States, these ants don't just bite. They bite to hold on, then pivot and sting in a circular pattern, injecting venom with each strike. The venom contains solanopsin, a toxic alkaloid that causes pain, skin irritation, and in some cases, full-body allergic reactions. But it's not just their sting that makes them dangerous. It's their behavior. Disturb a mound, and within seconds, thousands pour out in a coordinated, overwhelming response. Each year, these ants cause billions in damage, disrupt ecosystems, threaten household pets, and result in thousands of hospital visits. The fire ant is nature's unrelenting defender in miniature. It gives no warning, shows no hesitation, and overwhelms before you can react. Number 8. The yellow jacket. You may have seen them at picnics, swarming soda cans and hovering near trash bins. But the yellow jacket isn't just a pest. It's a relentless, fast-moving stinger, designed by nature to respond instantly to the smallest threat. Found throughout North America, Europe, and Australia, yellow jackets are a highly reactive type of wasp capable of delivering multiple stings when disturbed. They don't just defend their nests, they react swiftly to anything that gets too close. Accidentally disturb a colony, often hidden underground or inside wall cavities, and you may trigger a rapid collective defense, with each wasp capable of stinging multiple times. Unlike bees, yellow jackets don't lose their stingers. They can sting repeatedly, delivering venom that contains compounds like acetylcholine and kinins. These chemicals can cause sharp pain, noticeable swelling, and in individuals with allergies, trigger serious reactions. And it doesn't stop at humans. Yellow jackets are also major predators, hunting other insects, including bees, to feed their larvae. Next time you swat one away, remember, it might bring friends. Number 7. The Puss Caterpillar. It looks like a tiny Persian cat, soft, silky, even adorable. But touching a Puss caterpillar can be a painful mistake. Found across the southeastern United States and Mexico, this larva of the southern flannel moth is covered in thick, fur-like hairs. But beneath that fuzz lie venomous spines, dozens of them, each designed to inject toxins on contact. Brush against it, and those spines can embed in your skin, releasing a venom that causes immediate, intense pain. And that's just the start. Some report symptoms like swelling, nausea, and fever. This isn't a defensive caterpillar, it's a furry ambush, nature's version of a velvet threat. Cuddly on the outside, chemically dangerous underneath. Number 6. The giant honeybee. You'll find honeybees on every continent except Antarctica, but one species stands apart. Meet the giant honeybee, Apis dorsata. Native to the shadowed forests of South and Southeast Asia, especially Nepal's Terai region. It's the largest honeybee on Earth, nearly an inch long or 2.5 centimeters in length, with colonies that hang in the open, high in trees or on cliffs. And while their size alone is impressive, it's their defense strategy that sets them apart. If disturbed, the colony shimmers in unison. A warning. Ignore it, and they attack. Hundreds at once, stinging repeatedly. Their venom can trigger allergic reactions, chest pain, even organ damage in rare cases. A while back, a group of researchers published a study reporting serious cases of giant honeybee stings in Sri Lanka. And because these bees are too wild to tame, no beekeeper dares to house them. They belong to the cliffs, and they protect them with absolute force. Number 5. The Tsetse Fly. It looks like an ordinary housefly, but the Tsetse Fly doesn't just annoy. It spreads illness, slowly, silently, and in some cases, with life-threatening effects. Native to sub-Saharan Africa, this unremarkable insect is the primary vector for Trypanosoma brucei, the parasite that causes African sleeping sickness. It's not the bite that's dangerous, it's what rides in with it. At first, the symptoms are vague: fever, headaches, joint pain. But as the parasite invades the central nervous system, symptoms can escalate: confusion, personality changes, seizures, and hallucinations. Eventually, the victim falls into a coma, and if left untreated, the outcome is often fatal. Hundreds of new cases are still reported each year, especially in remote rural areas where diagnosis and treatment arrive too late. The fly itself is tenacious. It bites during the day, and is drawn to movement and the carbon dioxide exhaled by animals. Its bite is generally painful and can cause a red, swollen sore on the skin. This isn't a predator. It's a biological courier, carrying a parasite that invades the central nervous system and disrupts brain functions. Number 4. The brown recluse spider. Technically, it's not an insect, but the brown recluse spider is too dangerous, too deceptive, and far too venomous to leave off this list. Found throughout the central and southern United States, the brown recluse lives up to its name, hiding in closets, basements, shoes, and folded clothes. It doesn't want to be found, but when threatened, it bites. Its venom contains sphingomyelinase D, a rare enzyme that causes necrotic arachnidism. That's a fancy way of saying it causes skin tissue to break down. At first, the bite feels like nothing. Hours later, pain sets in, sometimes followed by skin damage and slow-healing lesions that can take weeks or even months to fully recover. In rare cases, the venom spreads through the bloodstream, causing hemolysis and systemic complications throughout the body. The fascinating part? It's small, often no larger than a quarter, and nearly indistinguishable from harmless house spiders. Except for one detail: 6 eyes, arranged in 3 eerie pairs. Not all dangers announce themselves. Some just wait in the dark. Number 3. The bullet ant. Found in the rainforests of Central and South America, this jet black ant grows up to 1.2 inches. Massive by ant standards. But it's not the size that earns it a place near the top of this list. It's the sting. Entomologist Justin Schmidt, who created the Sting Pain Index, ranked the bullet ant as number 1, the single most painful insect sting ever recorded. Schmidt described the sting as pure, brilliant pain, one of the most intense sensations he had ever recorded. The sting can last for up to 24 hours. Some describe overwhelming pain, with lingering effects that ripple through the body. In Brazil, some tribes even use the bullet ant in coming-of-age rituals. When their nest is disturbed, they swarm out and relentlessly sting the intruder, a wave of fury from creatures no longer than a fingertip. Number 2. The Asian giant hornet. They call it Vespa mandarinia, but the world knows it by another name: Asian giant hornet. Found throughout Japan, China, and Korea, and recently spotted in parts of North America, this hornet can grow up to 2 inches, or 5.5 centimeters, making it the largest hornet on Earth, with a wingspan that hums like a drone and mandibles built to exterminate prey. And that's not an exaggeration. When these hornets invade a hive, they can eliminate hundreds of bees at once. But these hornets can also be dangerous to humans. Their sting is packed with cytolytic venom, a blend of toxins that breaks down tissue and can interfere with the nervous system. In Japan alone, these hornets are responsible for up to 50 deaths per year. Their venom doesn't just hurt. It releases a chemical signal that calls nearby hornets to join the attack. And once they lock onto their target, they don't back down. Number 1. The mosquito, the most dangerous insect on this list. It doesn't roar, it doesn't chase. It simply lands and drinks. The mosquito isn't just annoying. It's the deadliest animal in human history. Weighing less than a paperclip, moving in silence, and easily swatted away, this tiny insect has killed more people than any predator, any plague, or any war. It doesn't bite out of rage or defense. The female mosquito feeds on blood to develop her eggs. In that moment, she becomes a living syringe, delivering viruses, parasites, and other pathogens that spread sickness across the body. Malaria, dengue, yellow fever, Zika, chikungunya, West Nile virus. Each year, these diseases infect hundreds of millions of people around the world. According to the World Health Organization, mosquitoes are responsible for over 700,000 deaths every single year. That's more than sharks, lions, snakes, and every other insect on this list combined. If any insect deserves the number 1 spot, it's this one. In the end, the most dangerous creature on Earth doesn't hunt. It arrives in silence and takes what it needs, without ever being noticed. Ever had a run-in with a dangerous insect? Tell me in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more coming. Thanks for watching. Until next time.